In this podcast episode, Lex Fridman engages in a deep and thought-provoking conversation with Jennifer Burns, a historian of ideas who has written extensively on the evolution of economic, political, and social thought in the United States. The discussion centers around two of the most influential figures in modern economic thought, Milton Friedman and Ayn Rand. Burns's insights into their philosophies, their impact on society, and the broader implications of their ideas provide a rich tapestry of understanding about capitalism, freedom, and individualism. Burns begins by highlighting the shared values of Milton Friedman and Ayn Rand, particularly their staunch advocacy for individual freedom and skepticism of collectivism. Both thinkers place the individual at the center of their analyses, arguing that the well-being of society is fundamentally tied to the freedom and rights of individuals. This individualistic perspective serves as a foundation for their support of capitalism as the most effective economic system for promoting personal liberty and prosperity. However, while they converge on these core principles, Burns notes that their approaches to capitalism differ significantly. Rand developed a moral and philosophical framework to justify her beliefs, creating a comprehensive system that connected individualism to capitalism. In contrast, Friedman, while also valuing freedom, struggled to articulate a moral justification for capitalism, ultimately framing it as a means to uphold individual freedom rather than an end in itself. This distinction sets the stage for a deeper exploration of their respective philosophies and the implications for society. As the conversation progresses, Burns delves into the contrasting intellectual styles of Friedman and Rand. Friedman is characterized by his empirical approach, grounded in data and historical research. He spent much of his career analyzing economic behavior and refining his theories based on real-world evidence. This empirical foundation allowed him to adapt and evolve his ideas over time, demonstrating a level of intellectual humility that is often lacking in dogmatic thinkers. In contrast, Rand's intellectual style is more axiomatic and philosophical. She begins with fundamental principles such as rationality and builds her arguments from there. This first principles approach leads her to create a moral framework that is both compelling and controversial. Burns emphasizes that while Rand's ideas resonate deeply with many, they can also alienate those who find her absolutist stance on individualism and capitalism overly rigid. This divergence in intellectual style reflects broader tensions within the discourse on economics and morality. The discussion also touches on the personal dynamics of Friedman and Rand, particularly their interpersonal styles and how these influence their relationships with others. Friedman is described as a happy warrior, someone who engages in debates with cheerfulness and confidence. His ability to connect with opponents and engage in constructive dialogue contributed to his success as a public intellectual. In contrast, Rand's confrontational nature often led to schismatic relationships, where she would sever ties with those who disagreed with her. Burns highlights the emotional intensity of Rand's personality, noting that her anger in the face of disagreement could undermine her arguments. This emotional volatility contrasts sharply with Friedman's more affable demeanor, which allowed him to win debates and gain followers. The personal dynamics of these two thinkers not only shaped their individual careers, but also influenced the broader reception of their ideas within society. One of the most intriguing aspects of Rand's work is her use of fiction to convey her philosophical ideas. Burns explains that Rand's novels, particularly The Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged, serve as vehicles for her objectivist philosophy. Through her characters and narratives, she illustrates the virtues of individualism, rationality, and capitalism, creating a mythic register that resonates with readers on an emotional level. Rand's ability to craft compelling stories allows her to reach audiences who might otherwise be resistant to her philosophical arguments. Burns notes that many readers have reported life-changing experiences after engaging with Rand's work, feeling inspired to pursue their own goals and aspirations. This emotional connection to her fiction underscores the power of storytelling in shaping ideas and influencing public discourse. As the conversation shifts to Milton Friedman, Burns provides an overview of his significant contributions to economic thought. Friedman is widely regarded as one of the most influential economists of the 20th century, known for his advocacy of free market capitalism and limited government intervention. His work on the quantity theory of money and the concept of monetarism reshaped the way economists understand inflation and economic policy. Burns highlights Friedman's empirical approach to economics, emphasizing his commitment to data-driven analysis. He challenged prevailing Keynesian theories and argued that inflation is primarily a monetary phenomenon. This perspective not only influenced economic policy during the Reagan administration, but also laid the groundwork for the monetarist revolution in economics. Friedman's ability to articulate complex ideas in accessible terms contributed to his status as a public intellectual and a key figure in the conservative movement. The discussion also explores the legacy of Friedman and the Chicago School of Economics. Burns explains that the Chicago School emerged as a dominant force in economic thought, advocating for free markets and minimal government intervention. Friedman's leadership within this intellectual community helped shape the direction of economic policy in the United States and beyond. Burns notes that Friedman's ideas have had a lasting impact on contemporary economic discourse, influencing debates on issues such as globalization, deregulation, and monetary policy. His emphasis on individual freedom and the importance of market mechanisms continues to resonate with policymakers and economists today. The Chicago School's legacy is a testament to the enduring power of ideas and their ability to shape the course of history. Throughout the conversation, Burns emphasizes the tension between individualism and collectivism that characterizes both Friedman and Rand's philosophies. This tension is particularly relevant in the context of contemporary political discourse, where debates over the role of government and the rights of individuals are increasingly polarized. Burns argues that both thinkers offer valuable insights into the importance of individual freedom and the dangers of collectivism. However, she also acknowledges the complexities of these ideas, particularly in light of the social and economic challenges facing modern society. The struggle to balance individual rights with collective responsibilities remains a central theme in discussions of political philosophy and economic policy. As the conversation progresses, Burns reflects on the relevance of Rand's ideas in today's political landscape. She notes that while Rand's philosophy may be polarizing, it continues to attract a dedicated following among those who seek to challenge the status quo and advocate for individual rights. In an era marked by increasing government intervention and social conformity, Rand's emphasis on personal autonomy and self-actualization resonates with many. Burns also highlights the ways in which Rand's ideas have been co-opted by various political movements, often leading to misunderstandings and misinterpretations of her philosophy. The challenge of accurately representing Rand's work in contemporary discourse underscores the need for critical engagement with her ideas, as well as a willingness to grapple with their complexities. The conversation concludes with a discussion of the future of economic thought and the evolving landscape of ideas. Burns expresses her belief that the ongoing debates over capitalism, socialism, and the role of government will continue to shape the trajectory of economic policy in the coming years. As new challenges emerge, the need for innovative solutions and fresh perspectives becomes increasingly urgent. Burns emphasizes the importance of fostering open dialogue and critical engagement with diverse ideas, as this is essential for the advancement of knowledge and understanding. The interplay between individual thinkers, their ideas, and the broader social context will continue to influence the evolution of economic thought and the future of society.